Minister Enoch Godongwana delivered his maiden budget speech in Parliament yesterday. Well, eNCA's Monique Mortlock is visiting various areas in Cape Town to get the reaction of various sectors of society to that budget speech, and she joins us now for an update. One of the key areas of focus, Monique, has been about young people of South Africa who bear the brunt of the unemployment situation, and part of the answer seems to be around education and how to fund it. You've been speaking to various other sectors, business, etc., but for a moment it seems let's focus on that aspect of things, particularly interventions in higher education.
Yes, yesterday we heard the Finance Minister speaking about how higher education needs more support from the state, and he said that 32.6 billion rand in funding will be given to support students, especially bursary holders and first-year NSFAS holders. I'm here at CPUT's District 6 campus speaking to some students, and they are actually in their first year NSFAS bursary holders, and you are the people who the Finance Minister was basically speaking about, in that government needs to, will be giving you more support in terms of finances. Let me start with you, Andile. What are your thoughts on what the Finance Minister said?
Well, I think that what the Minister has announced will help the students very good. Yeah.
And do you know of any students, maybe some friends who you were at school with, who struggled to get into varsity simply because of a lack of funds?
Yes, I know. In fact, I know many students who struggle to get into university because of their NSFAS didn't approve. Yeah.
Thank you very much. That was Andile. Lois, I'm going to bring you in here. Tell me your thoughts on what the Finance Minister said about providing more financial support.
Hey, actually, I think it's a great investment because he's doing a great thing for the students, and because many students can't afford to go to universities for themselves. So this money is going to bring a lot of joy into students.
Same question as Andile. Do you know of many students who you went to school with who actually couldn't make it to varsity simply due to a lack of funding, and what this might mean for them?
Yes, actually I do know about one or two students at this campus actually right now which are financially excluded because of their master's degree documents or whatsoever. So I think this money will just bring tears of joy to the students.
And I have to ask, Andile, I'm going to ask you as well, what was the process like in applying for NSFAS funding? Last year I did a story with some PGCE students who struggled with that whole funding to get the funding. Luckily it was resolved. What was your experience like? I'm going to start with you, Andile. Was it quite easy?
Please come again, like I didn't hear the question.
What was the process like to apply for NSFAS?
Oh, it was easy. I just had to upload my ID document and everything was cool. I was approved before I even received my NSC result, man. So, yeah, it was cool.
So you were one of the lucky ones. And you, Louis, same experience?
Yes, me too. Just uploaded the ID document and everything was fine.
Cool. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Are there any other students who would like to share their with your beautiful head wrap? Tell me, how do you feel about the Finance Minister giving that additional funding towards NSFAS students and bursary holders?
It's very exciting because my sister was struggling last year with receiving a NSFAS allowance. She still is till this year. So hopefully she's going to get helped out because she ended up going to a different school because she couldn't afford university. So she ended up going to UNISA. And my parents had to pay from their pockets. So hopefully this is surely going to change our situation.
And lastly, do you know of any other students like your sister who was in the same boat who maybe due to financial restraints couldn't do what they would have liked to do after school and go and study further? And how are they doing now?
I know a lot, quite a few, because we have, especially last year, we have been struggling to apply. We went back and forth to offices calling because the process wasn't really general for all of us. Generous. So I know quite a few, and some of them are still struggling this year too. So hopefully things will pan out good.
You speak about hopefully things will pan out good. What is your hope when you hear how much support government is giving? What is your hope when it comes to young people like yourself, other students like yourself?
My hope is that especially less fortunate students who can't really afford university to at least get funding to attend so that they won't be demotivated to carry on with their studies and pursue the careers that they want to pursue.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. What's your name?
Ayandiswa.
Ayandiswa. Thank you for your time, Ayandiswa. That was Ayandiswa, as well as Andile and Lewis, who are CPUT students, just telling me there how hopeful they are by what they heard from Finance Minister. We know that over the years, students have been calling for the fees to either be dropped completely, especially for needy students, financially cash-strapped students, and maybe this is a step in the right direction. As one student told me, maybe this is government's way of moving closer to scrapping fees completely when it comes to students in need.
Sure. Thank you for that, Monique. And also, hopefully, then, the announcements of the higher appropriations for higher education and NSFAS are followed through by efficient administration of the system, because the money being there is one thing. The money being there and paying for students' fees, allowances, and even accommodation, etc., is a whole different conversation. eNCA's Monique Mortlock out in Cape Town there, getting reaction to yesterday's budget speech that was delivered by the Finance Minister, Enoch Godongwana.